How is it that there are some messages that you just remember forever, and there's lots of messages that you never think about ever again? In fact, there's a lot of messages that you walk out of the church, you walk out of the youth ministry, you work out of the service, whatever it is, and you've completely forgot about what even you, the guy preaching or the girl preaching, was even talking about. How is it that they're so forgettable, but yet some things are completely memorable? In this video, I want to talk about how to use the power of anchoring to use some tools, some illustrations, some samples to boost your speaking to pro level. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Ryan Latham, and I share tips, tools, and conversations to help you and your ministry grow. And in this video, I want to talk about the power of anchoring to boost your speaking. So what is anchoring? Anchoring is the ability to use things, maybe a video sample, maybe a song, maybe a drama, maybe something like that to anchor your message. Okay, so for example, a good example of that is to pick up a good sword, right? Okay, so this is a sword replica from Gladiator. Okay, so that's a good thing. That's a good illustration to pick up the sword and talk about Gladiator overcoming. I've used this sword when I'm talking about David and Goliath, and kind of like cutting off the head, all that kind of stuff. So I've used the sword. Now that's good. But even better to really, really, really get into anchoring, right? Because using a sword like that is a great visual, but that's not quite anchoring yet. Anchoring would be to show a clip from Gladiator. Okay, and so now every time they see Gladiator, boom, they're instantly taken back to the message that you preached. Okay, or anchoring would be to not just talk about a song, but actually play the song that you're talking about during your message, and allow the students, allow the adults, whoever you're speaking to, the kids that you're speaking to listen to that song, because then again, every time they hear that song, it's going to take them right back to the moment when you were talking about that song. And so a lot of times we like to talk about or reference things, but to truly do anchoring, it's to allow them to actually hear it, to see it, and to anchor that moment to it. I really like doing this, again, like I've talked about some examples, showing a video clip or letting them listen to an actual song, because again, it's going to actually anchor them to that moment, and it'll take them back. They might not remember the entire sermon. They might not remember everything you said. They're going to remember something about that moment. And again, I think as John Maxwell says, they don't remember what you say, but they're going to make you remember how you made them feel, right? So they might not remember exactly what you said, but they will remember how you made them feel, and that's going to bring them back to that moment. And I guarantee you, it'll bring back some things that you said about that, and how you kind of took that moment. So that's why series like See You at the Movies is really popular. That is a perfect example of anchoring, because again, now every time somebody sees those movies that you're talking about, they're going to think about being at church. They're going to think about being around their friends. They're going to think about what you said about that. And so those are some things. That's a pro tip here. Pro tip to take your messages up, not just as an illustration, but to actually anchor them to things that are common in people's lives. And so looking ahead and say, okay, popular songs, they're going to hear these songs. Popular movies, they're going to see these songs. Or even moments like, every time they close their car door, or opening their garage door, or those kinds of moments, or even just going back to food smells, anchoring them to things that are part of everyday life, maybe not everyday life, but common in days of people's lives. And so that when those moments happen, they take them back to where they were sitting. I can remember there's some of those things that have been anchored into my life that as soon as I hear that song, boom, I instantly am taken back to that moment. When I see that movie, I'm instantly taken back to that moment. And so anchoring is a pro tip that's going to help you go from just kind of average to being really memorable in your speaking. So it takes a lot of work. It takes some planning. It takes some preparation for sure, but it's going to take your speaking to a whole nother level. So hopefully this video has been helpful. Look forward to talking to you soon.